Now, what I'm going to tell you is March 12th, we don't want to be a blue state. So again, I'm going to tell you to vote. Vote, 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 vote. I want you to vote. Welcome to another fine Lawson for Governor video. Figured I would have a little Thursday night chat with you guys about current events. Here's the government is on the verge of another shutdown in DC. Hopefully they are working behind the scenes to gut a bunch of the unnecessary stuff, which is, well, maybe it's the case behind the scenes, but obviously the fake news isn't going to tell us any of that. I'm hoping that the government gets shut down to the point they can't do any mail-in voting and we have to have in-person voting only for the primaries coming up. To me, that would be absolutely wonderful. That would guarantee a victory across the board for us in the primaries. I'm sure of that. If it was in-person and one-day only voting, that would fix everything. Boy, could you imagine the panic if that was to happen and there was nothing they could do? Right? No mail shut down or something from the shutdown, government shutdown, that the jokers of a House and a Congress right now can't seem to get together. It's fine. It's fine. I honestly believe we're going to prevail and we're going to win and we'll be able to correct it all. Look for something like that to happen. This is the battle behind the scenes right now, is going to come down to being able to have secure and fair elections. Keep in mind, if they get their way and they just go business as usual and start doing the mail-in voting stuff again, that doesn't provide the transparency needed for the people to have faith in the elections. You can go outside and throw a rock and you're going to hit someone that questions the 2020 and the 2022 elections. That's just the state of our society now. So it is imperative that we have in-person voting and that we make sure it's above the board and very transparent. I believe truth and transparency is the only way forward. The mail-in voting is not trusted by the people, so it cannot be used. That is simple. If they allow it to be used again, they are trying to sow diversity. They're not trying to sow diversity, they're trying to sow divide. Not diversity, divide. That's the only reason, right? You need ID and then you need to vote in person. The whole argument over voter ID is absolutely silly. If you need ID to do anything, you need ID to go to the bar, to buy cigarettes, to do anything, you need ID. If you want to gamble, if you want to go to the casino, you need ID, right? So why is it a problem to get it for voting? It's not. They want ambiguity so that they can manipulate the outcomes and sow discontent. That's how they are. If you're thriving and doing well and having faith in the system, it doesn't benefit them and it makes it harder for them to manipulate whatever programs they're running so that they can enrich themselves because they dilute it. That's the worst part, is like you take guys in other countries like dictators or leaders of state and they openly steal money. Well, they get to their numbers quick and pretty soon they're super rich billionaires and they're not destroying their own country to keep themselves enriched. Unfortunately here, our leaders will literally give away billions and billions of dollars to foreign countries in order to enrich themselves by 1 million. This is extremely bad corruption. This is worse. At least like the Saudis and the people in other countries have their country's best interest in mind for survival moving forward. They're not just flushing the entire thing down the toilet and looting the treasuries. They have their people's interests somewhat in mind. They're so rich it doesn't matter right off the bat, but they're not going to send their country down the river for pennies on the dollar like the American politicians are for some kind of joke or book deal. that the Chinese print a bunch of money and give a politician, the governor of our state, for instance. Yeah, so they're pretty well not just corrupted. They're definitely treasonous, and there's a reason treason has such a high bar. It's not a game. It's not a joke. It's for real. It's as serious as it gets. I've been taking a tax for years now, so it's like tax happen to me every day. They're just water off a duck's back at this point. I am ready to gut the bureaucracy and take them to the hole here. Trump's vice president pick is probably going to be one of the most important picks of his entire presidency as far as the direction the country is going to go. Just keep that in mind, in the back of your mind. Understand that it's up to you, the American people, to really think about the country's future moving forward, and understand that. So whoever it is, I'm sure Trump has a lot of faith in him, and I'm sure it's going to work out very well. I'm sure that's part of the big overall plan of everything. There's some people that don't think that Donald Trump plans everything to the T, and there's also people that think that the United States military doesn't have full control over everything. I believe the opposite. I believe that Donald Trump does have control over everything, and that the U.S. military also has control over everything, and does everything immaculately, and it's all detailed perfectly. And I believe that a lot of the division and unrest in our country right now is by design, in order to wake the country up, because it was on the verge of being overthrown. There was a 16-year plan to take our country's liberty and rights, and they were well on their way to doing that. Implementation of COVID laws, things like that, mandatory vaccines, stuff that puts the Constitution on the back burner. And you guys have to understand that these other countries, they don't have the Constitution in their mind. They're not represented by the Constitution. They're from other countries. So the Constitution means nothing to them. It's the people domestically that control that. And the ones that are allowing the Constitution to be subverted, that is again treason. So you can get mad at these big corporations, and you can get mad at all these foreigners and stuff for manipulating the system the way they are, but they have no loyalty or allegiance to the Constitution. That's why you have to make sure that people that take their oaths and represent you do have that allegiance, and that's the number one on their forefront. Going back to the Constitution is somewhat of a radical change in the way that most people live their lives and understand reality and society. So I'm not saying that it's going to be super clean and easy. I'm not even saying I understand the full extent of the mechanics of how to do that. I do know that is the goal, and I believe that with the people and the right structure, hierarchy, truth, transparency, and keeping everybody up to date on the real deal, that we're going to get there. And making sure that we don't put these corporations that have foreign allegiances in charge of who is selected to lead us, because that's the issues right now. And you guys have to really look into that and understand that I believe I'm the only one running that has your best interest, and that I do represent the Constitution, and that my allegiance is to Washington State and here and to this country and to you, the people. So you guys have to keep that in mind and understand that we're here for you. Now, what I'm going to tell you is March 12th, we don't want to be a blue state. So again, I'm going to tell you to vote. Vote, 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 vote. I want you to vote. Because even if they are cheating and stealing your vote, by voting, you're forcing them to do it. You're not just giving it to them. So if they're going to steal from you and steal your vote, make them steal it. Make them take it from you. Go and vote. Make sure you have a voice. If you don't vote, you've got no excuse. They did nothing wrong to you. Maybe filed a ballot for you, which they probably made it legal to do that if you don't vote, which is another reason why you should have the resolve to want to take back the power. Vote. Okay? So, I think that's going to do the video for tonight. It's night for me, Thursday evening, like I said, Thursday night chat. I could probably sit here and spout off all night, but I imagine my videos, they don't get a lot of views anyway, and no one wants to hear a long-winded politician. If I wasn't running for governor and we didn't have so many serious problems, I might do some other videos, such as maybe something in the realm of my other hobbies, which aren't of interest on this channel, so I'm not going to even go into them. Thank you for watching tonight. You guys have a good one. Thank you for watching the videos today. Please like and subscribe if you'd like more content.